Welcome to Field Notes. I'm your host, Hayley Fleming, and in this episode, we'll be learning about killer whale ecotypes in Prince William Sound and in the Kenai Fjords. Local killer whales are distinguished by two ecotypes, residents and transients. It's important to note that the ecotype nomenclature can be misleading. The designations imply that one type has a set home base while the other moves from place to place. This isn't the case. The distinction instead comes from the whale's social dynamics and feeding habits. The residents in our region are fish specialists, and their ranges can be pretty small, like the AE pod that mostly hangs out in Prince William Sound all year. The transients specialize in hunting mammals and can have relatively large ranges, but can still be found near Prince William Sound much of the year. Researchers estimate that we have around 300 resident killer whales in Prince William Sound and in Kenai Fjords. In addition, over 100 transient whales have been documented in the region, but typically that number is much closer to 40 individuals at any given time. Because the range of transient whales is so much larger than their salmon specialist friends, they're a little more difficult to track. Residents travel in pods, primarily eating salmon, while transients travel in small groups hunting mammals. In essence, it's the culture of these two groups that sets them apart. Culture is defined by the passing of knowledge through generations. In the case of killer whale ecotypes, what distinguishes the two is their unique set of skills required for each lifestyle. The matriarchs pass these skills down from generation to generation and are critical to the whale's survival. Transients quietly travel in small groups while passively listening for seals or porpoises they're hunting. Additionally, transients are a little larger than their resident counterparts, with thicker jawbones and skulls. The salmon specialists are more vocal, loudly clicking to one another constantly. They travel in large groups and are very social as they school up and feed on fish. You can see that these two feeding strategies do not complement each other. Therefore, a hybrid of the two would have a hard time with hunting success. These two types of specialists are so genetically different that researchers believe they haven't successfully interbred for 300,000 years. Listen to the communication styles between these two kinds of specialists to hear the difference for yourself. The differences between these groups of the same species demonstrate just the beginning of how complex and interesting the life history of a killer whale is. Their social structure, how and where they hunt, what beaches they rub and clean themselves on, are just a few of the dynamics researchers observe and are fascinated by. To learn more about the killer whales in our region, visit the North Gulf Oceanic Society's webpage at whalesalaska.org, as well as the Prince William Sound Science Center's webpage at PWSSC.org. Thanks for listening.